everyone. We are back. It is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and this is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. And of course, we were not here with you on Monday because it was Memorial Day here in the U.S. And I know that other countries had holidays as well. I'm not sure what they all are, but it was interesting to me how, like, I talked to a lot of people globally throughout the week, and a lot of people yesterday said, oh, it was a holiday for me too. I had no idea. So interesting to learn as you connect globally with people. We have Olivia Ambani on the show today, everybody, to talk about what are you taking in, what are those things that we are ingesting: music, movies, TV, news, all of those things, other people, all of that. And how does it impact your joy? We're going to be talking about that coming up very soon. And I'm going to be bringing her on sooner than later because we have to talk about Sounds of Joy, which for me, it was watching the American Music Awards on Monday. Now, full disclaimer, you guys, I was very tired and I fell asleep, but I did go back and watch. Usually it's enough to hold my interest, but I've been so tired lately. I've had so much going on that I really I did not have the stamina to do it. And so I have gone back and watched a lot of the performances and things like that because I really do just love music. And so we'll be talking about that in just a couple minutes. But let me know what is bringing you joy today and where you're joining us from, of course. Over the weekend, I did a lot of unplugging. And it was really necessary. I stepped away from the computer a lot. I spent some time outside in the sun. I know you can't tell because I'm still clear over here, but I did go out in the sun, and we tried desperately to bring my daughter to the store, and try to find her a graduation dress. Margine, that hosts Project Joy Live with us, is graduating high school in 1.5 weeks. She's graduating on June 7th or 6th, excuse me, and she still doesn't have her dress. She wanted to pick a dress. She can't find a dress. We've gone from store to store to store. But I was sharing the other day about how outside of the store we go to, there's a little, or it's like a shopping plaza, and in the corner there. Why is my Siri talking? I have no idea. My phone just started talking. So outside of the store, there's like a sitting area, it has benches outside, and there are always these four metal looking flowers there, different colors, these tall flowers. And I thought to myself, what in the world are those things? And I've been trying to be better about really being present and experiencing the world, and not just sitting back and going, wonder what those are, and just moving on. And so I've seen them so many times. So I was like, you know what? Let me walk over there real quick. So I walked over to these flowers, and then my husband and my youngest kids pulled up, and I told the girls, I was like, get out of the car, come over here, come look at with me. And so there are these four flowers, and they're made out of like metal of some kind, and there are four petals on each flower, and hanging from each flower is a mallet, and in each petal makes a different sound. It almost sounds like a steel drum. Like, it really is a beautiful sound. And so you can play music on these flowers. And so we just stood there for a little bit, banging away, and making music on the on the streets of New London, Connecticut. And it was great. They had so much fun, and it was a literal stop and smell the roses kind of moment. Stop sitting back and going, Oh, I wonder what that is. Stop and pull over and just give it a minute and see what's going on, and you might have a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy in your life. So we did that, and then Monday we grilled when the rain finally stopped. It rained all weekend here, all weekend. And so we were grilling outside, and Leah was riding her bike and all of that fun stuff. But I want to take you back to Sunday really quickly. And that was May 24th. And a couple years ago, Leah, which is our youngest co host here on Project Joy, she's about to be 10 years old next month. She asked me, she said, can I make a holiday? And I was like, well, you can make whatever day you want and celebrate it, right? No need a reason to do that. And she decided to make something called Joy Day. And I said, "Well, what is this?" And has a whole she's all this lore around it where she says that there is a star named Joy, and it's a yellow star, and it's named Joy, and every Joy Day, May 24th, I still have no reason why she picked that day, by the way. Just a random day for her. And on May 24th, Joy comes and leaves joyful gifts of kindness and love and joy for people that you care about. And the secret, okay, you can't tell anybody because it's got to stay here on the show, is that you are the joy. You get to be joy and the star and leave stuff for the people that you love. So Friday, after some stuff that we had going on, Claudio, the creator of Ripley that I've had on the show before and talked to you guys about, and you've seen obviously on the Ripley show, he had come into my office, and I was saying something about Joy Day, and he was like, "What's that?" And so Leah described it all to him, and he said, maybe in the future we can do something on Ripley that has to do with Joy Day. Well, we got up Saturday morning, and I had gone to the store, and he said, and I get this message from him, and he says, log on and see what's in your account when you log in. And I was like, what? I'm in the grocery store right now, and it's a Sunday. But I logged on, and there was a big badge that came up that said Joy Day, and it had a little starfish, which Joy Day, Leah said, is about stars, but Ripley has like an ocean theme. So there was a starfish, and there was confetti and music and all of that stuff. And then when you go to the activity on there and click the actual badge, it says that this badge was inspired by Leah, who reminds us to spread the joy and all of these things. And you can only get that badge on Ripley when you log in on May 24th. It could be, if you missed it this year, you'll have to wait till next year. But so I said to Leah, I said, Claudio said that that's the only day that you can get it is if you log in on May 24th. And she said, well, yeah, that's how it works. Is what she said. So it was just really great. And to me, we've had a lot of conversations lately about, really making an effort, a collective of us making an effort to bring humanity and connection and relationship building and a much deeper, rich experience to the online world. And doing things like that is really the things that can make that happen, truly. And so I was more confirmed than ever that we are on the right platform for our community here on the Breakthrough Show Network. And it was just lovely. It was really, really lovely. So let's head over to the audience this morning. Miss Sang D is in that VIP spot. She said, I'm so excited, I can only hide it. She's singing to us this morning, everybody. So glad to have you here, Miss Sang D. Miss Danielle is here this morning. Good morning, Danielle. And then Al said they have them at the park down the street for us. From there, they are neat. The flowers. So that's exciting. Thanks for being here this morning, Al. Good to see you. Saying that I love that Claudio is so thoughtful and kind. I simply love Leah so much. It really was such a beautiful thing. And I am not gonna lie, I've never worked with someone like Claudio before, somebody who's really a developer mindset. It's a different breed. It's a different breed of people, let me tell you. And so it's been really challenging for me at times to work with someone like him, but he has he pushes you in the best way to be better and to improve, your systems and how your business is and all of that. And then to do that was really lovely. And speaking of Claudio, you're welcome and good morning. Good to see you. So that was how my weekend was, and it was very restful and lovely. And so I just it was fantastic. But one of the best things, of course, was Monday when we watched the American Music Awards. And so I cannot have this conversation by myself. Please put your hands together and welcome back to the show my friend and sister all the way over in Kenya, Olivia Ambani, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Hi, how are you?
I am good, and I am excited because I know that you have some sounds of joy happening at your house right now.
Yes, construction.
We love that. We love that. Well, and even though because I remember when we moved into this apartment, they were doing like heavy construction across the street, and I thought, I'm never going to be able to do a show ever again. But it can remind us that newness is coming, like whether it's something that's revamped or like something new is coming, and that's exciting sometimes.
Yeah, for the people who will enjoy the newness, we get the sounds of joy.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, speaking of sounds of joy, we were talking for a minute before the show, and I know you didn't watch the American Music Awards, but I love award shows. I love mostly like the performances. I love to get to see fun mashups and things happen. And at one point, so let me just run down really quickly. First of all, Queen Latifah returned as the host of the American Music Awards for the first time in 30 years.
That's huge. That's a long time.
It was wild. And I love Queen Latifah. Oh my word. I just think she's an incredible actress, obviously an incredible performer and music artist and all of that. And she has a lightheartedness to her, like where you could tell she's just having fun, and so that came out, and so she introduced as well. There was a lot of people that sort of came back for the first time. Hootie and the Blowfish performed together. They performed "Hold My Hand" and "Only Want to Be with You," and it was 30 years after winning the American Music Award for Pop Rock New Artist in 1996. So,
whoa.
I know. Crazy.
That's a while.
I know it. And then of course, one of my faves, New Kids on the Block, came back and performed. And they came out, they started at the piano and were playing this very kind of, jazzy version of one of their songs. And then this car came out and there's dancing. It was so good. It was so good.
Memories, New Kids on the Block.
I know.
Backstreet Boys who
I know. And then Queen Latifah brought out the Pussycat Dolls for the first time in forever. Busta Rhymes performed with them, which was fantastic. And they cut to the audience, and who's dancing out there but the Goo Goo Dolls? Like it was
This was like throwback of throwback.
Yes. It was so good. And
Wow.
so there were so many things. And then of course my girls were freaking out over Somber, who's a pretty big deal artist now. And he won, I think, a few awards as well. He was
Wow.
one of the most nominated artists during the awards for sure. And so some of the big winners, artist of the year was BTS, which we know K-pop has
Ooh,
been such
wow. Nice.
a big thing. And then the new artist of the year was Cat's Eye. So again with the K-pop, so that
Oh,
was
that's
high up
cool.
there. Yeah.
Mm.
Album of the year, Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend. Um, Song of the year was the singing voices of Huntrix, the song Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, which Leah was on that movie every day when it first came out. Like that's all she would watch was K-pop Demon Hunters. That also won best soundtrack as well. Tour of the year was Shakira, so nice to see her again
Okay.
as well. And I was sharing with you before the show that there was a new category called Best Throwback Song, which
Mhm.
I thought was really cool because sometimes the songs that we saw and listened to in the 80s and 90s, they have been making their way back around. People have been doing their
True.
TikTok dances and you know uh viral sort of videos and trends and things like that. And the winner was Black Eyed Peas, Rock That
Oh,
Body.
wow.
So they were
After
back on
that,
stage, Fergie and Will I Am, like everybody back on the stage as well. So
that's
that was
nice. I
super
haven't
fun.
seen them in ages, but they were a really cool group. Very unique as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. So it was a
Wow.
really, really, really fun night. And like I said, I disclosure, I was tired and I fell asleep, but I did go back and watch all of them. So that was great. I know 30 years is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And yes, definitely go back if you haven't watched it. You can it's streaming on Paramount Plus, and so you can watch it on there, and there's tons of clips all over Facebook and YouTube and all of that
I'm
also.
sure.
Shelly's here this morning. Good morning, Shelly. Good to see you. We went to see Somber in LA. Big core memory unlocked for my girls. Seeing it, love that. Love that. Yes, and always love the throwbacks on the award shows. They gave a big award. So this was aired on Memorial Day here in the US. This is where we honor those veterans in the military who died in service. And so there was a big focus on that. And Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish received
Mhm.
the Veterans Voice Award presented by the USAA Honor Through Action. And it says this award recognizes artists who use their platforms to make meaningful, lasting change in the lives of those who served. Throughout his career, Rucker has consistently championed those who serve through his lifetime support of military organizations through his music. So love when just we see artists give back and make the world a better place, which is what it's all about.
True. It's huge. It's huge. There's so much impact you can make through music.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. So what are the sounds of joy that you are experiencing this week?
Well, interestingly, before the banging or construction started, it was really quiet, and I was like, "Oh, this is so nice." I think I spoke too soon, and
You jinxed it.
I
Horrible.
did. I did. But there's also a song that came out Friday last week. It's called Longo Longo.
Mm,
It's by an artist, two artists. Well, one group so Zinia Manasseh and We Are Nubia, and it's very
mhm.
catchy and just fun. It's mainly in Swahili, and it basically just talks about if you really like me, you need to be honest about it and stuff. But the chorus has a really fun like vibe. So I had that
Mm.
on repeat for like yeah, for a while, and I used it for my run. I did quite a long run on Sunday. So I was like, yeah, yay to music that helps you run and run far. So those
Yes.
are my sounds of joy. That song and silence. It was like silence a bit early on today. So
I love it. I love it. And you know what? You played on Tuesday or Monday, excuse me. You played a song in the beginning of your music mentorship that was playing for a while there in my head that day. It was really
oh,
beautiful. Do you remember what the? Because I didn't write it down, and now I'm mad that I didn't write it.
I remember the artist. She was called Nawekulo. I think the song was, and if it was Dear John or Dear God, it was something
Mm,
like that. Yeah, it's a beautiful song, and I love it because every week I've been trying to play, or every class I play a song from different participants of the music career mentorship program, and yeah, it's fun. I love doing it, and it makes me feel like I want to be a DJ on radio.
yeah.
Like saying the next song that played was.
Yes, yes. I have had so much fun. So I was DJing two sets a week, Monday night and Saturday morning on Station Head Radio. And now I'm just doing Saturday morning because my schedule is just insanity at the moment. I need to be able to breathe. And but I really love Saturday morning. And it doesn't, take away from my day at all because I'm always listening to music to get hyped up for Saturday morning
Mm,
coffee anyway. But I
yeah.
love putting together sets like that
Mm,
are intended to take people on a journey, which,
exactly.
I realize is my big realization this year is that's always been what I've done is take people like I want to immerse people in something, take them on a journey. And so I have a lot of fun putting things together. And for this month, we've been doing a journey through the decades. So I play four songs from each
Mm,
decades from 1950s to 2000s in the set. And it's just fun to it's really interesting to hear the difference in music. Like
mm,
used to be really short songs. Now they're a little bit longer. They're a little, you could just hear the difference. And so it's been fun to do that. But we were listening to before the show, my friend Arceo, DJ Blackout here in southeastern Connecticut. We've known each other since we were babies. We would sit by each other in class in middle school, so long time ago. And he's been a DJ a long time and sent me a clip of his DJing that I love. So we were listening to that before, but DJing is fascinating to get to have that sort of like we were talking about the transition that goes from one
yes.
song to another and the whole crowd goes crazy, right?
Yes, especially like when you're like, oh wow. Like when it's a really good mix, like a song you wouldn't put together and it like enters really well, those transitions and mixes are just yeah, it's a great experience. I mean, my cousin's a DJ, so we got to learn a lot about DJing through her, and like, yeah, a good set, a good transition can change a whole like show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So good. So our topic today is what are you taking in every day? And we are talking about the things that we, digest daily, emotionally, mentally, digitally, socially, and how those things that we're taking in can really shape our perspective on life. So we're going to take a super quick break. And when we come back, we will dive into it. We'll be right back after this.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Project Joy Live. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. I'm here with Olivia Ambani, and we are about to talk about something that is a hot button topic because I think we are so bombarded with information today, and there's so much that I think, sort of unconsciously digest every day, from news to social media to radio to TV, movies, commercials, the people that we're surrounded with. And I don't think we always realize or take the time to evaluate how those things shape our perspective in our life. Are we taking the time to listen to ourselves, and what we might think about something, and then we could have a whole side conversation about whether we actually think anything for ourselves because of all the stuff we take in. So let's hear your thoughts, because I'm already down the rabbit hole in my head.
It's okay, Jessica.
I'm gone. It's happening.
Yeah, I think firstly I would say, like, there's a reducing lack of awareness of the fact that a lot of it is people's opinions, right? It's the way they view the world, and they're gonna put it out, and then it's up to you to sift what makes sense for who you are and where you are, and it's not all fact. Because I think what I find is you can have an objective, conversation over a topic, whether you agree with someone or not. But I think what happens a lot more is there's so much negative information that is spread a lot, and it's affecting everyone. It's affecting us. And I think for me, I'm learning to be more aware of, like, okay, if I find myself like consuming more of a specific type of content, maybe about a certain topic, I'm like, okay, why are you doing that? But also, furthermore, I see how that reflects in my own life. So let's say it's in relationships, and like a conversation around men and women and how they relate and everything. All points could be very valid, but then am I only consuming information that says how we're against each other, how we're fighting? And then how does that translate when I'm communicating with people, like with men and with women? Like, how does that make me feel? Because sometimes I started to become aware of, like, after I consume something, how does my body feel and what's my emotion? So sometimes I find myself really sad and I haven't noticed why. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I saw that piece of content and it triggered me this way. But then I just moved on. I continued scrolling. And then, like, half an hour later or something, I'm left with this energy that I'm like, what am I going to do with? And so I started to become more present when I'm consuming things. I'm like, don't passively consume, just be aware, and then be like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, of course you're allowed to just zone out if you want, but if 90% of what you're consuming is actually affecting you negatively, then it will show in your life. Like, it's just a fact. That's something you cannot deny. So I think for me, it's just about awareness. Bring back awareness to whatever you're bringing in. No judgment, no, like, just be aware what you're bringing in. I think that for me was step one. And step two, then make a decision of, okay, now that you're aware, how is it affecting you? Like, your body, your mind, the way you're approaching life. And then number three, what do you want to do about it? I mean, because some people are like, I know and I don't care. Okay, cool.
Yep.
But some also are like, I didn't even know, I wasn't aware. Also because there's a very big push. I don't know how it was for you growing up, but for me, my parents were very much like, watch the news, watch the news. You must know the news. You
Yes.
must watch the news. Mm-hmm. And the news, sadly, in most places is always negative. I mean, they've changed a bit over the years where they'll find maybe like a positive story, but most of the times news is just, this person has done this, it's like this. Like, you think the world is just over if you just watch news. So yeah, I think for me, it's just awareness has been so important. because I started to be more aware, I guess, of how it was affecting me and my life very directly. Yeah.
Right.
What about
Right.
you? I know you had already started like unpacking.
Yeah,
The...
well, 'cause I'm already in my head about about it, which is fine. But like I think I remember back same it was a big deal to go out and get the newspaper in the morning. The newspaper would be delivered and we read the newspaper and watch the news on TV, and the news was more I would say more of like a family activity back then, where it was like if we were, because we had you had one TV if you were lucky, and everybody would be kind of get you wouldn't be like we all have our own device and we could watch whatever we want. We're like all like, well, there is nothing, their parents are going to watch the news, so we're going to watch the news. It's no one can't watch anything else.
Yeah.
And so that was how it was back then. And I think there's a lot of people, even kids now who are taking in news, and I don't mean traditional news, but like social media and things like that, and there's not necessarily that conversation that's happening around it. You're not doing things like that in a group anymore, or with your families. And so there's a lot of, I think lack of discussion about those things is really what's caused a lot of our issues today, because
Mhm.
we're not talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
If something tough comes up, it's just kind of like, oh, scrolling on to the next thing. And we're not saying like, how did that affect us?
Mhm.
What are our thoughts on that particular thing that we're seeing? And so it's definitely different now than it used to be. And I think also it's so important for us to be intentional about what we're taking in as well. I understand, like, when you're talking about how some people are like, "Oh, I'm taking it in and I don't care." I see that a lot myself, and I really want to be intentional about surrounding myself with people who do care, who do want to take that time to be accountable for what they're taking in, because we know that what we take in affects how we behave and how we go forward, not even in a conscious way, right?
Yeah, absolutely agreed. And I think that's it. Like you can choose to be passive, but it's still gonna affect you. Like that's just how it is. And I liked what you said about like no more, like we don't unpack. Honestly, we just don't talk enough. We talk and
Mm,
connect. I don't know if we connect. We say things.
yeah. Yep.
Whether we communicate or connect is a whole other thing. And I think there's so many people who are processing in isolation. And sometimes, of course, sometimes you do need that time and space to just think it through yourself. But also, sometimes it helps to process with other people and just be like, this is how I feel. This is what I thought about this piece, and having a community of people to do that with without feeling like you'll be told, well, you think that it's not even a big
Mm,
deal, or like how can you, there's a lot of this like how what's your problem, or why don't you feel this way? So people are pressurized as well, I think, almost into silence, because they're like, but if I share how I'm feeling about this topic, especially when it's like, a complicated topic, it's like people are almost silenced. And I think like we need to keep working on just having more spaces or friendships where we can have conversations, even if they're not always easy, because more people are keeping it in, which is affecting health, which is affecting how people's mental health is. Their ability to cope is going down, because I think it's like a bottle, right? Like a pressure bottle, or like a soda. If you keep
yeah.
on shaking the soda and you're not opening that lid, the moment you do, it might be like, something small, just psh, right? And I think that's what's really happening. It's like we continue getting, you're being shaped, and then they're putting in more, bicarbonate and just adding more to it. And then one day it's just too much. So yeah, it being aware, and I think it even affects how we are as, whether you're a parent, a guardian, an auntie, an uncle, a sibling, it affects how we are with younger people or with children. And they learn how to cope based on our example.
Yep.
Like they just do. So like that's what, when you think of how we grew up, like you learn some coping mechanisms based on your parents or your guardian. So if we're not able to unpack, we might not be able to give them the space to unpack either. So we can imagine this impact is not just about us. It's affecting the next generation as well, because if we can't cope, it's going to be too much when a child is like, why can like,
Yep,
it's just, yeah. So
absolutely.
I think, yeah, we need to give ourselves space. I think first personally to just process, even if you can't with other people, like allow yourself to process information and to be aware. And then like, please stop being numb. I know that it might be easier sometimes to just switch it all off, because sometimes it just feels overwhelming. But I think bringing a bit of awareness to your life and what you're taking in can actually save you from a lot of stuff that you may not even realize you're experiencing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you
and
feel? Yeah.
from a leadership perspective too, like, we can do a much better job at allowing the space for people to feel like they can talk about this stuff to begin
Mm,
with. I
mm,
think in general, and I've talked about this on other programs before where we've had this discussion about how um, part of why we jump to defense is because there's some sort of belief that we have that by listening to someone else that we maybe vehemently disagree with, that that's going to somehow change us. But we have to remember that we are in control of that. Like we get to
mm,
choose if what we ingest, if what we take in, changes us or our perspective going forward or our belief system or whatever. But the people feel so threatened that they don't
mm,
want to hear somebody else's thing. I don't, if somebody comes to me and says, Jessica, I believe that the earth is flat, I might think that that's silly. I might go, now that's, in my head, I might think to myself that, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But does it hurt me to just did it hurt me for them to say that? No. And it's
mm,
like, I think there's this sort of narrative that, oh, like misinformation or whatever, there's a lot of that happening right now, where we talk about this phrase misinformation, but it's like we are taking away the the space and the I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but allowing people to discover for themselves, research,
mm,
have
mm,
conversations. How are they going to research and have conversations if we don't give them the space to do that?
true.
They're going to continue to be in their space of, belief of whatever they're saying, they're thinking. And so I just think we could do a much better job with inclusion and allowing people to share what their thoughts are, giving them a safe space, a psychological safe space to do that, and have the discussions. And if people are stuck in their ways, let them be stuck in their ways. Like, but you don't have to take that in and allow it to change you. That's your choice after that. I wanted to say hi really quickly to Joseph joining us this morning. Good morning, Joseph. Always a pleasure to see you. And Sang said something really interesting. Apparently, Time magazine published their cover in 1983 that stress was the nation's leading health problem in 1983. But now look, since 1983, look at how much more stress we have because we are bombarded with all of this
Mm,
information. Then in 1996, another article was published that said 1/3 of Americans had at least 2 days a week where they were under great stress, and
wow.
75% had at least 1 day per week. That's 52
That's
days a
that's a lot.
year.
That's a lot. That is a lot. That is so high. And I think honestly, there's so many people who are like having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and they don't even know what they are. It's just like, and
Yeah.
even I think even high blood pressure is one of the highest,
Yep.
like I don't know if you say diseases that people, and it's also a silent killer because many people don't even know. Like they're like, oh, it's fine, it's just, and then something happens, and so it is huge. It is very very huge, and it starts with honestly what we're consuming. It directly affects, and I think also even in terms of like because of what we consume, there's certain things that are made normal. So like if we're used to seeing people in workplaces being like abused or like, going through very negative experiences, it's like it almost trickles to now your reality because like people are like, that's just how I hate this line, but people say that's just how corporate is, or that's just how
Uh,
this is. And I'm like, no, that's how that organization has chosen to run itself and to allow. There's always opportunity for change because I think when we think about what we consume, a lot of people work jobs where they're in a specific environment every single day, right? And so I think as we're talking, I was thinking about like, so how do you help yourself in that situation? Because sometimes if you're in an environment that is super negative, you almost now go and just consume content that will numb you because you're like, I was around this toxic whatever,
yeah.
so I don't know, have you ever been in such a situation, and how would you navigate that?
I hear that often that that's just the way things are.
Mm,
And the more that I hear it and the more that I catch myself saying it, the more upset I get about it because
mm,
we are so quick, and I'm getting a little bit emotional about this. We are so quick to point out that, like, to just give up, to
mm,
just be
mm,
like, well, that's, it's the way it is now. It's the way things work. It's the way that, the world is. But if enough of us said we don't like that's the way it is, and we do something other than
mm,
sitting on our rear ends
mm,
and complaining about it, or just giving up, just throwing up our hands and say, you know what, it's just the way it is, we're just going to go along with it. That's
mm.
how things get worse, and we don't even realize it's happened. We
True.
don't even realize that it's happened. It's just now everything is changed and different. Like, I think about I was talking recently about having my aunt passed away, and was talking to my cousin about how big funerals used to be in our family, and like we would have the big get together, and then we would all get together afterwards, and our grandparents always kept in touch, and everybody knew kind of what was going on with the family. And as soon as our grandparents passed away,
Mm,
that just
mm,
stopped. Nobody knows
mm,
what's going on anymore. Nobody keeps in touch like they used to. And so things have changed so drastically, and it's because we're sitting back and we're going, well, that's just the way it is. And so
mm,
as I've been in this place of I just relaunched my personal brand after many, many years of not doing that. And then I realized as soon as I launched that the underlying structure of the network had to change, because it just doesn't, like, we've just grown to a different space. And so as I'm doing that, that's one of the biggest things that hit me as I'm, writing down all of this information about who are the people from the Breakthrough Show Network. We are people who are done with sitting back and saying that's just the way it is.
true,
Truly,
true,
like,
true.
we're gonna make a change, to quote Michael Jackson there for a minute. And so it fires me up. I want to be surrounded with those change makers. I want that to be my circle of people who go, I have had enough, and I'm going to make a difference, and it's going to matter, and it's going to make a big change in our world.
Yes, Jessica.
It's happening.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes people feel like it needs to be some massive revolution. Do you know it could be as simple as you decide in your office you're going to be the person that says hi or hello,
Yes.
and just has not even with everyone. It could be that one person you're like, oh, I connect to this person, or even pulling somebody aside who you see doesn't know how to stand up for themselves, and just be like, in the meeting, maybe try this. Or you could be like, I don't think that was fair. Or give the person more opportunity. Be like, I would like to hear what Jessica has to say a bit longer. It's those
Yes.
subtle things that make a big difference. I remember when I was working somewhere once, like there was someone who they never used to stand up for themselves, and I would try in the meetings to be like, no, they have something to say. And years later, it made such a big difference, because to me, it's very natural to speak up for myself, to be like, I don't like that, like that's me, and it's been nurtured, and I've had experiences that help that grow. But for a lot of people, they're like, I'm never gonna ask the boss or tell the boss that, they would never do that. So I think sometimes it takes you just showing up as you, and encouraging other people to do it. And it's subtle things. It doesn't have to be like a huge, we're not going to work and we're going to stop. It's subtle things that before you know it, the like environment has changed, like I've seen it in workplaces, and I can't emphasize, like maybe a meeting is being held on a day that doesn't make sense for everyone. It just takes one person saying, hey, can we change this to like another day? And like you'll be shocked
Mhm.
like what can change, because the thing is, when you say that's just how it is, no one is questioning or bring it up, because maybe those people inherited that and they never questioned, and maybe it was like some manager 10 years ago who made it up, and then like they left and you're
Yep.
stuck with a system that doesn't make sense for you. So I think it's important, and in whatever small way, because the thing is, especially where I brought up work, we spend so much time in workplaces. Like a lot of our mindsets and stuff is set, especially if you do like whether it's a 9 to 5, an entrepreneurial, you spend so much of your time working. So it's great if it's an environment that you can consume or enjoy. Because yeah, I don't think work was meant to be miserable. I refuse that.
Yep, me too. I'm not playing that game. It's funny when we started this conversation, and we were talking about Sounds of Joy. I was listening to a friend of mine's radio show this morning, and the first song that he played was Tracy Chapman, "Fast Car," and I just love that song. I just love that, and I'm singing over here. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere, like just I'm just in a
Yeah.
vibe with it. But that song is like I'm sitting here thinking about it. That song is like get me out of here. Like I'm doing what I have to do to get by. It's that sort of, I'm doing whatever I need to do, but get me out of here. And then when you were talking, we were talking about like standing up and making a change. All I heard in my head then was Bob Marley, get up, stand up,
Oh yeah.
like just
Yes.
stop sitting there. Like stop it. No more. um and so it's always interesting to me, the conversations we have and the songs that pop into my head as we're having conversations, and how they tie in beautifully to everything that we're talking about. So any final thoughts about this topic, Olivia?
I think just know that you're very powerful, and just the way you should be aware about what you consume. You can also be in charge of what you put out, and in every space you're in, you can affect what the environment is like. And just, yeah, awareness is important. I know that it can be exhausting, but I think the more aware you are of what you're consuming, it will give you more energy, because then you have things that will fuel you, that will motivate you, that will actually leave you better off than drain you. And then just something I'd say, like, if you're not sure, when you're done consuming something, like, just do a check. Do I feel exhausted, like in a negative way, or do I feel drained? Does my energy feel off, or do I feel all right? Like, that's a very simple check you can do, that will help you know, like, okay, do I need to change this or do I not? Because just asking that question already will interrupt like the passiveness of consuming. And yeah, remember, you're important. So what you put in yourself will consume matters. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Mic drop, everybody. That's the end of it. Remember what you're consuming, and stop it. Just stop it. That's the only thing I have to say. have it right now. Um, all, all right, everybody. It's time for birthdays. You ready? Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, everybody. For our birthdays today, let us know if you are celebrating a birthday in the comments, and we would love to celebrate you today. In the world of celebrity, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, who passed away in 2002, had a birthday today, as well as incredible actor Christopher Lee, who you might remember from Lord of the Rings a ton. Christopher Lee had an incredible career, passed away in 2015. Happy birthday to them. Also, incredible artist Andre 3000 is 51 years old today. Chef Jamie Oliver, also 51 today, as well as Jadakiss is 51 today. So lots of 51s happening. Maybe we should play the lottery today, you guys. I don't know. Also, we have actor Joseph Fiennes. He played Fred Waterford most recently in The Handmaid's Tale, but he's had an incredible career also. 56 years old. And the amazing actor Vincent Price, who passed away in 1993, had a birthday today. You might remember him as the creepy voice in Michael Jackson's Thriller. Loved that as well. I don't have anybody in my life that has birthdays today, but over the weekend, Peter O had a birthday. And listen, Peter, I'm not going to try to pronounce your name live on air because it's not going to be a good situation. But he's a co-worker of my husband's school friends, Joe Haynes and Roseanne Holden, had birthdays as well. Happy birthday to you guys. Anybody you're celebrating today, Olivia?
Yeah, my mom. Her birthday was on Monday. Her name's Anne. Yeah.
I love Anne's. I remember, now it's coming back to me. I remember saying happy birthday to her last year. I remember when you told me her name was Anne. Yep. I remember now. Olivia's mom. We love that. Happy birthday, Anne.
Yes.
All right. Let's get our birthday song on, everybody. Here we go. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Lisa, Andre, Christopher, Jamie, Joseph, Vincent, Jadakiss, Peter, Roseanne, Joe, and Olivia's mom, Anne. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. We hope you have an incredible celebration. And listen, Olivia has better lungs than me. And singing, Olivia's more practiced than me lately. And I'm like, can I do it? Can I hold it out as long as Olivia can? We're going to find out. So good. Anything you have going on, do you want to share with everybody before we go, Olivia?
No, not really right now. I mean, the music career mentorship program is almost over, so gonna take a bit of a break to gather energy after that because it was like almost 2 months of that.
Yeah.
But so nothing right now. I mean, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but more rest.
Yes. Resting is good because we are all anticipating new Olivia Ambani music at some point in the very near future, everybody. So there's that. Also, I want to shout you out. The Music Career Mentorship Program is coming to an end, but it was absolutely amazing. And any musicians out there, next time Olivia offers it, you better get on board. Get on the train.
Yes.
Partake. It's amazing. It's amazing. It was really well done. And it was very cool because you have people from a lot of places in the mentorship. And so to get to know other musicians from around the world was really cool too.
Yeah. And I'm hoping maybe can develop to us doing shows where the participants can come as well. And we can travel to everybody's different countries and, dream big. Can come to
Take
the
it on the road
Network Festival.
Yes. Take it on the road. Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
so exciting.
It is. It is. And so this afternoon, I will be back with you guys at 2 p.m. Eastern time for the last of the first half of Beyond 2D for the year. We are finishing up our series about peacemakers. Blessed are the peacemakers. This episode today is specifically, if I'm remembering correctly, we are talking about the if there's a side effect to keeping the peace. Is there a time when peace is not called for? We're going to talk about it on today's show, so don't forget to tune into that 2 p.m. today with myself and Ferran Dozier. And then I'll be back with you guys on Friday to finish up my series here on Project Joy, and then we do it all again next week because it's so fun. We love to be here with you. Thank you, Olivia, as always, for joining me today. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you to Sang, Joseph, Claudio, Shelly, Danielle, Al, everybody amazing in the comments today. We appreciate you. And we want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.